thank you for being here. Super grateful. I know some of you are coming from Fort Worth, and then some of you are local to Dallas as well. And yeah, I mean, I would say to kick things off, just a quick intro for each one of you to the people, just so they know your name and the run club that you represent, and then we can just start from there.
Hello? There we go. My name is Alfonso Gonzalez Jr. I run with Train Pegasus from Dallas, Texas.
Hey guys, I'm Bree. I'm one of the co-founders of MOAB Run Club in Fort Worth, and I was born and raised in Arlington.
Hey guys, my name is JM, stands for Jose Manuel, and I'm one of the co-founders of MOAB in Fort Worth, Texas.
Hey guys, check. Check. There we go. Hey guys, my name is Marco. I'm the founder of Kairos. I was raised here in Dallas, and we started back in April, so we're babies in terms of our length as Run Club, but we're here. Excited to be here.
Howdy y'all. My name is Matthew DePaula. I'm one of the leaders for November Project Dallas.
Let's go. So yeah, I mean, as you can see, different run clubs, and one of the things that ties everybody together is running, as well as the culture. But before we get started and talk about the run clubs and the running journey, I think something that we're very curious about is, what were you doing before starting Train Pegasus, Fonz? And we want to learn more about the backstory. If you could share a little bit about that, I think that would be amazing for people to know.
No, absolutely. For me, I've always been in sports. At the time, I was just trying to find something else, but I've always been into, if you ever watch Big Bang Theory, that's pretty much my life outside. Comic books, collecting figures, going to conventions. That's what I was doing before running, which I still do. That's just one of my hobbies outside of running, so I really enjoy that. Growing up, I played Pee Wee baseball, tennis, I played football, boxing as well, scholarships. And I was working, I started working at AT&T, and one of my coworkers she suggested running a marathon, and that's how it started for me. When it came to running, I ran Dallas, was my first marathon. I think I did like 3:58, 3:59. She did as well. Over the years, we trained together. She ran the Olympic trials. Coming from 4 hours to where she's at now. But that's really what I was doing right before. I do have a son. He's 29. So that was another part of me too, taking care of my son, because I was probably 14 or 15 when I had him. So that was a big part of my life as well too, before starting running.
So I grew up, I always played sports, soccer, track, and then after college, I found myself in a toxic relationship for years that kind of really took a toll on my mental health. Come 2020, I finally left that relationship after 4 years. I was living with my parents, didn't have a job because it was COVID, and so honestly, I started running just to kind of get myself out of the house. I couldn't even run a mile. I grew up running the 400 meters in track. So if you know the distances, I never imagined doing marathons, doing 26.2 miles. I joined a run club, which is where I met JM and some of the people in this room. And to me, running was so much more than just running. We built really close friendships. We trained together, and it was really like my safe space if I was stressed out after a tough day of work, if I was going through something. Whether I was running a 12-minute pace or a 9-minute pace, I feel like running to me has always been like a healthy outlet to kind of just deal with things and also just appreciate every single day. So before running, I never imagined doing marathons, but I feel like once I met other people who were like-minded and kind of just change the people that were around me. My friend group at the time also wasn't the best, and so I feel like just completely shifting my focus on life led me to running, and here we are today.
For me, I was partying a lot. I used to drink a lot. I was a heavy drinker before I started running. So that's what got me into running. I wasn't happy with myself either. So I needed to find an outlet to, do something to help myself because I wanted help, but I didn't know what to do. So running to me was an outlet to help me distract myself whenever I wanted to drink or do other bad habits. I was in a really dark space because I had also just gotten out of a really bad relationship, and it was mainly I was just partying and drinking a lot before. I didn't really have a purpose in life. If you asked me if I wanted to be alive, I probably would have told you I didn't want to be. Which up to now, it's helped me. I've learned to love myself along with my getting into running.
So before I started Kairos, I was actually just working full-time. I still work full-time as a physical therapist, and it's funny because I would tell all my patients, don't run, it's really bad for your joints, for your knees, don't do it. Do something low impact like swimming. But last summer, I was kind of in a similar position as these guys and was in a really bad friend group that wasn't really benefiting me. And I was at this point in my life where I was like, well, I can either choose to be alone or be with people that I shouldn't be with. And I chose to be alone, and I wanted to find an outlet just to kind of distract myself. And one of my friends invited me to a run club, and he stood me up. I was like, hey, I'm here. He's like, oh, I'm actually not showing up. So I was like, I'm with like 400 people that I don't know, so might as well run it. And that's when I discovered like how amazing running is, not just because it's fun, because sometimes it's not fun, but the aspect of like running with someone, like alongside, like suffering with them. I was like, like I think I need more of that. Like suffering is inevitable, but might as well do it with people that, are doing the same thing. And so I was like learning a lot of things about life, and all the things that I learned is actually just Kairos, that's what that means. And I wanted to just share that with Dallas and share it with people that I felt needed it. It means the right time or the right moment. And I always lived my life in fear, waiting for like perfect conditions. And I was like, well, I don't really want to wait. I want to get it done now. Like I could die tomorrow. Life is not promised. And that's what led me to create Kairos. And all my friends right now I met through Kairos. So don't be afraid to be alone. Be afraid to be with the wrong crowd.
Growing up, I was relatively active. I played the sports. I played soccer. I played tennis. One semester of football. But I really didn't have a healthy eating life at home. Our family wasn't the best at eating well. And so despite being relatively active, I dealt with weight gain and low self-esteem all through adolescence and even into college. And in college, I had a fantastic roommate named Kyle, who was a big runner. And he was so encouraging and said, just get out there. He literally said, just run as far as you can, which may not be very far, and then walk back to the apartment. And our university lake is about 4 miles around. And just slowly, I kept increasing that mileage until I could run the whole thing, which was moving for me and really life-changing. And my senior year, so that started in sophomore year, in my senior year, I decided I wanted to take up running as my recreational way to stay healthy and to stay active. And so I brought it back. I went to LSU, brought it back to Dallas when I entered graduate school and just kept going. And in 2018, I met one of the leaders for November Project Dallas at the time, Taiwan Thompson, and he just encouraged me as a way to supplement my running and enter into a greater community. I met him at another run club, but he was just so inviting, and I started to go to November Project Dallas, And 3 years later, so in that year, I also started running races for the first time. And in fact, my first 5K, I'm now working for the organization that puts those on, which is just incredible to see how deep running has been in my life and how life-changing it truly has been. And in 2022, I took the opportunity to begin leading November Project Dallas. I was the 6th co-leader, if I remember correctly. And standing on the shoulder of giants, really, now that we've been around for 8 years, it's just an incredible opportunity to give back to the people who gave me so much.
Yeah, no, that's amazing. Appreciate y'all for sharing that. You know, it sounds like it's a very diverse group, different backgrounds, and at the same time, there's a common theme of like community, running, and that being a way for you guys to get to where you are right now, which is pretty awesome to hear. Now, when I think about each one of you and the different run clubs, they're somewhat different, very unique. You know, as I'm looking at you guys, you know, I think about training Pegasus, think about speed, right? Like people that are just like pushing the pace. And I've joined a few of their runs, and I got left behind, which is great because you know it's just a good way to push myself further. And you know, we can talk more about how you started that. But you know, as far as Mas Migas, we got the opportunity to be there 2 times, and you see a big group of people, very diverse. Like there's a lot of people that, yes, they're Hispanic, but it's pretty open to everyone, and that's pretty cool to see the fact that you guys are very welcoming, and you have the paletero out there just you know, selling the paletas, and that was pretty cool to see when we got the opportunity to go over there. When I think about Kairos, you know, it's a young crowd. You have the DJ, you know, people are having fun, like coming out, and yeah, they're running, but they're also like socializing, and it's a good vibe in general. And we went to November Projects as well, and the warm-up was a little intense. You know, it was great. You know, we showed up to do a video, and I showed up with my Air Force shoes, and I didn't know I was going to do a warm-up. It was like sprints and things like that, but we got it done. You know, I think it got people hyped, so it was cool to experience that. All that to say is like they're all doing something unique, and it's adding a ton of value to the community. Now, having said that, for Train Pegasus, right? Like, just would love to know more about how you came up with the name, how you started, and you know, kind of what you're doing right now with the group, Fonz.
The way it started, you know, I started off, I used to coach for Luke's Locker originally, and I coached there maybe for 4 years or so. Then I kind of left because I wanted to, you know, do a different style of training. And you know, I was coaching maybe after I left. I had 3 of the girls I used to coach in the short distance 5K. They asked if I would, you know, train them. And I was like, sure, you know, sure, I can start off and train them. You know, it's like, okay. As they started to do good, you know, they were running 4 hours. They ended up BQing. That's how I started getting referrals through them because they're like, well, you know, who's coaching you, etc. And it started to grow. So everybody was running different, you know, on their own or a different group. One of the girls decided to, hey, let's just run together. I was still not running with Train Pegasus at the time. I was running with Nomad group. So I didn't, the way the name came up was, of course, Dallas. You know, you think about the Pegasus. So we were trying to think, they were, I guess among all of us, we were just thinking of, well, we can come up with a name. Originally, I didn't want a name or a club or anything like that. I just wanted to stay coaching. Again, I was running with Nomad, which are, you know, another speedy group. And they got it going, so we finally came up with a name. So then they kind of started, you know, they started Train Pegasus is the way I would say it. They were running on Saturdays, mile runners were on Sundays because the Nomad was on Sunday runs. So, then you started seeing 20 people, and then we started getting, people like, hey, do we have to pay to come run? And at the time, it was just my runners that I was coaching, but I wanted to be open to the community. So then we started offering, anybody that wanted to run long distance, come out and run. If you were with Run On, if you were with Luke's, DRC, Fleet, you just came out and you came and joined the group for long runs, and the community started to build. So when I think of Train Pegasus, our niche is more long distance. That's really what it is. If you were to come to a Saturday run, you see runners from long distance from multiple clubs. They know up here that you're going to get long distance. So that's just what we're known for. After COVID, MOAB kind of stopped running at that time, so I ended up running with Train Pegasus. So I actually started running with my athletes at the time and some of the other runners. From there, it started to grow. We did have, during COVID too, I think we had like some of our core runners that were maybe 15 to 20, they all ended up moving to Colorado, so then we had to rebuild some of the runners again. But from there, it just started to grow. And then coaching too, I've been a pacer. I think that's what I'm probably known more for, a pacer than anything. I've done 35 marathons, I want to say. And probably the same amount as half marathons. 5Ks, 10Ks, probably done over 100 of those together. So it's been a good journey when I think about Train Pegasus, but that's how it started. Just with a couple of people that I was coaching, and just kind of grew. But I think it really took off maybe in 2021, I would say. 2021 is when I started to see it, and I would say it's a workout group. Tuesdays and Thursdays and Saturdays, you're gonna clock in, you're gonna go to work. That's what I say.
Let's go, yeah, putting in the work. And for those that don't know what the pacer is, like, could you explain a little bit about what that is like?
Yeah, absolutely. So if you ever go to the race, if somebody wants to run like a 130, they want to go sub 130, I'm the guy that has to hold the stick and take them in and make sure that they hit their goal, and motivate them as long as as I go. For me, it's such a good experience for me to do that, to see people achieve their goal. That's just to watch the excitement, and it's almost like the first time running. It's that feeling. To me, it's something I enjoy doing. I still pace probably once a month, if not every other month. I end up pacing anywhere from the half marathon to the marathon. I think the fastest I've paced for a half is sub 117. For the full, I think the fastest I've paced is probably sub 245. But paces doesn't really matter. I just enjoy doing it, whatever it may be. It could be 3 hours, 3:30, 3:40, even for the half. I really enjoy it.
Nice, yeah, no, that's pretty cool to see. Like, every time we go to White Rock, you guys are working, like, it's a whole crew, and you guys are going fast, and it's always cool to see that that's possible. Just being able to see people that are running fast or running long distances, you can be like, if they can do it, I can get a little faster as well. So that's pretty awesome to see. And I know you said you coach as well. Like, how many people have you coached if you had to put a number out there?
I've coached close to 300 now. Probably close to 300 actively. I force them to take breaks. No one likes to take a break. But even for me, it's a load off me if they take a break as well. But I coach people in Mexico, Canada, throughout the U.S. This month I started coaching in the U.K. remotely, so that's even gotten a little bit more busy. But I would say during a marathon season, it could be like maybe 150 at one time, and then it varies.
Wow. No, that's amazing.
And then I also do one-on-one too. This year I started coaching high school too. So when they cross countries, when the kids are off season, I'll start coaching. I do one-on-one coaching with them, with them to get them to a scholarship in college, and that's a lot of pressure too, because you got all these Michigan coaches, Ohio, flying in to come see them at Germany while I'm coaching them. I'm not sure who's more nervous, or they are or me. But yeah, it's been a good journey with the training.
Nice. So like, let's say someone comes up to you and it's like, hey, I want to run a sub 3 hour marathon. Like, what are some like top 3 things that you would recommend someone to get to that goal?
To get to that goal, I would say definitely got to get some speed turnover, some track. You're gonna have to get some long distance for sure as well, some longer miles, some tempo runs, some intervals as well. Those are probably the top 3 things that I would think. Anybody that's trying to go a little bit fast, and it's very possible.
Nice. Okay, yeah, no, that's good to know. And because like if we want to know more, we have to hit you up for some coaching, so we know who to reach out to. But yeah, I appreciate you for sharing that. And now for Más Millas, just would love to know more about how you started and the journey so far. You guys started, was it this year?
Yeah, so first of all, thank you for being a pacer, because pacers have saved me in so many races, and I see them holding their little stick sign and I stay behind them. So the pacers are really the ones that help us get through the races. But yeah, we started Más Millas in May, so we are still very new to the whole run club thing, but we actually met at a run club 2 years ago. I went by myself on the first day. I didn't know anybody, and he was the first person I saw. I was like, you look nice, he looks friendly, so ever since that day, we kind of just clicked. We trained for our second marathon together, and after that, kind of just kept going. And we were at dinner one day and kind of just having like a conversation about running and like what it's done for us and where it's taken us. And looking at Dallas, there are so many run clubs. Like he said, there's kind of a run club for every vibe. If you want to go fast, if you want a DJ, if you want to run in the morning, at night. And Fort Worth honestly doesn't have that many run clubs. And so the idea behind Más Millas, which is more miles, is kind of like there's always room for more. And so we chose a day that was specifically not on the days that the other Fort Worth run clubs meet, because the idea was just that running has done so much for us, and we just want to kind of add to it without taking away from it. And so May we launched, and we honestly had no idea what was going to happen. The first day, I think we had close to 150 people, and we were honestly just in shock that this many people would show up for us. And yeah, I'll let JM kind of chime in too, but we're only like 5 months into it, and it's been a really crazy journey. Also, all of our friends from the other run club that we met that are here have been super supportive. And so I think being in the running space for the past 2 years and just actually getting to know people, making connections, coming to Dallas run clubs really kind of set us up to start our own thing.
Yeah, pretty much what Bree said. Also, what motivated me to want to bring something like another run club to the community was me going through my sobriety journey. I sometimes post about it on my social media, but not a lot. But I have few people that would message me or come up to me personally and thank me that I've also kind of helped them in a way that it helped them get into running, and has also helped them with whatever sobriety or whatever it is that they're going through mentally. That has also helped, and I just wanted to add that to the community so people can have an outlet.
Something else we noticed is that we kind of were talking about like how we felt the first day that we went to a new run club, and if you've never ran before, it's really scary, especially going alone. And we had gotten really caught up in like running marathons, and to us like a 15 to 20 miler was normal, and we kind of were just thinking about how sometimes running, when you get deep into it, can feel a little bit intimidating, and we wanted to just have a space that was open to everybody. And I would say more than half of the people that come to Más Millas have either never ran before or they're just getting into running. I think we get like close to 100 people out every week who just walk. And so we really just wanted to spread health and movement into the community. And even if you can't go out and run 20 miles, if you just walk 1 or 2 miles, maybe one day you'll run a 5K or a 10K. And so we really just wanted to kind of take a step back and just create a space that was open to everyone and not as scary as some running can get really scary. We wanted to just take a step back.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. Yeah, we've been there a couple of times, and it's very welcoming. Kairos, yes, we'd love to learn more about the story. And it's been few months, and it's pretty cool to see the growth that you guys have done so far. If you want to talk about the journey.
Yeah, so like I said, I started running last summer, and then this is an important fact about me, but I'm the oldest of 3 brothers. Is there anyone in the room that's like the oldest child? Anybody? Okay, so you can agree with me that when you're the oldest, you want to do everything perfect because you have people looking up to you, and then your parents kind of count on you. You're kind of like a third parent. So my whole life I grew up wanting to do things perfect. I went into the health field, I became a doctor of physical therapy. I'm like, everything has to be like perfect, it has to be dialed. And then I started realizing that I would excuse myself like and hide behind perfectionism, but it was really just fear of failing. And so there was a season of my life last year, I started listening to a lot of Alex Hormozy. He's like a famous like entrepreneur, influencer, and he was always just talking about like regret, the feeling of regret of like when you're 80 and you look back at all the things you wanted to do and you didn't do it because you were so scared of failing or looking stupid or being embarrassed. And I just started consuming all that content, and I was like, well, I can't just consume all this and not create something. Like, what am I gonna do with all this content? Let me actually create something. And the way that I wanted this to be created was for it to be created spontaneously and without a lot of planning. So what I did was I started inviting people on my Instagram story, like, hey, I'm getting into running. If you would like to come run with me, let me know. I did that for like 2 or 3 months, and the most I ever got was like 4 people. When I got 4 people, I was like, bro, we made it. I got 4 people out here, like that's so crazy. And then I was like, you know what, like, let me go all out. Let me push it a little bit more. And so I started to like put myself out there a little bit more on Instagram and like TikTok. And there was just one day I got home from work, I was exhausted. And I was like, what if I actually like full send this and like, let me just give it a full effort. And I made this TikTok in my car. I'm wearing like this black polo. And I'm like, hey, I'm starting a run club in Dallas. Come out on Wednesday at 7 p.m. I didn't have a name, but that TikTok went viral, and I was like, well, I think people are gonna go, so I better make it kind of legit. So the night before, I like go and make a route, and I pick a name using ChatGPT. I'm like, okay, what could this mean? Like, how could I make it? And Kairos is actually what I was living, but I was like trying to find a word that could encapsulate what I was trying to convey. And I was like, okay, it's all being done on the fly, but like, if I don't do it now, like I never will, because I'll excuse myself with it. Oh, it's not perfect. And literally the first day that I had the run club, it was 8 people. And I was like, oh my God, I just doubled my numbers from 4 to 8. This is crazy. And I was like, okay, well, it's happening. Like, let's run it back. And so every week I added one new layer of, okay, let's perfect the route, or oh, let's make it this way. And so it was all being done in the moment. And so the reason I wanted it to be that way was to help inspire others that come to my club. Because when people come to my club, they know they're gonna run. We have one of the harder routes because we have a ton of hills, and people are like, oh my gosh, it's only 2.3, but like, it's so hilly. And I'm like, yeah, you're gonna get a good workout. But the most important thing for me is for people that come to our club, is for our club to be like a catalyst to their life. And so when you hear what we're about, what we represent, I want people to be able to know what Kairos means and be able to take that home with them and be like, what is the one thing in my life that I'm putting off? Whether it's like getting healthy, like starting to run or work out, or applying for a job that I really want. And so it's funny because even on our Wednesday runs, we've had people go up on the mic and be like, quit your job. And people laugh, but I'm like, no, there's people living in fear because they think there's not something better out for them. They think they're not gonna make it. I'm like, no, like go for it. You have one shot at this life, you might as well do it. We've also had like a Wednesday where I was like, wear all black if you are single. And I'm like, this movement should infiltrate every area of your life outside of health. You know what I mean? And so yeah, I get super fired up talking about it because it's about everything. It's not just running, it's more than just health. It's like your mental health, your relationships with your family, with your friends. And so it's been a huge like journey. And I'm learning as I go. Like I'm in the healthcare field. I don't know about marketing or branding, but I'm learning as I go. And I'm like, it's much more fun this way to like not know what the next step is. I'm like, let's keep not knowing anything. Like let's learn as we go, and like we'll figure it out. Again, firstborns are like, if you're a firstborn, you're like, this is insane. But I think it's insane too. But it's so much fun.
Yeah, no, that's pretty awesome. Like, you're going for it, and the message of like the time is now. I think something really cool that I saw last time was that you give the mic to someone to tell a story, right? Like, what is that like? How do you guys come up with ideas like that?
So initially, it started off kind of spontaneous. Like I would go on stage and be like, "Hey, if you're afraid of speaking in public, like come up right now." And I had a few people do it, and I was like, "Sick! You just beat your fear that you were so afraid of, and you just did it. Like it might have sucked, but at least you did it." But then I was like, "Okay, let's make it more structured. How can we add a new layer of structure?" And so I started to meet people at the run club, and I started to hear their stories of how they overcame fear in their life and took action. And so like when I come across people that are like entrepreneurs, that they started a business, or they went out of their way to create something where there was a lot of difficulty, I like to give that person the time to share that story and tie it back to Kairos, because at some point it was a Kairos moment. It was like, well, I can either wait for everyone to support me, or to have the money, or to have everything laid out, or I can just make the jump. And if you're a business owner, or if you've created something like that, you knew nothing, or you knew in part, and then the rest was just kind of like guessing. And so I love that component, and I like to take people that have lived that personally and be able to share it, because then you hear it and you're like, I think I can do the same thing. And the reality is you probably can, you're just in your head too much. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Now I remember I saw the video too. I think Raul was up there sharing his story. So it's cool to see it, right? Like, yeah, you show up to do the miles to run, but there's a lot more to it. So it's more than running. So yeah, no, that's pretty cool to see. And yeah, I mean, I would say November projects now, as far as the journey there.
Yeah. Before I answer, so I had one of our regulars went to Kairos on the day that you said wear black if you're single. He didn't know that. He was wearing black. His girlfriend was not happy about it. Just saying. That was really funny. November Project. So in order for me to talk about the origins of November Project Dallas, we have to go all the way back to before November Project Dallas. So November Project was started in Boston by two guys who were tired of giving up on working out when it gets cold. So in 2011, they worked out every single day for the month of November, had a Google spreadsheet, and they called it November Project. And they loved it so much. They loved this idea of working out together. They loved this idea of making fitness less intimidating and just doing it, just being there for each other. That they said, let's just go for it. So they went to Harvard Stadium, they scheduled this workout, they put it all over the social media, they invited the world. Daniel, how many people do you think showed up?
50 people.
One person showed up. Sarah Wild. Sarah Wild was the first person, and the rest is history. It spread like wildfire. November Project Dallas started in 2017 as the 34th chapter. And now November Project is a network, I would say, of over 50 fitness communities across the United States and Canada and pockets of the world. And so here in Dallas, when we started, it came out of a group called We Run Big D. And that group pledged to become part of the November Project Network and successfully did so in 2017. Now, the origins aren't super pristine either. One of the biggest challenges that we faced as a community before I even joined, but that I experienced, especially as I stepped into leadership, was that the people at the time they actually burned a lot of bridges. Let's just be honest. They burned a lot of bridges with other run communities in Dallas. And as big as it got, it hurt a lot of relationships. And so when I stepped into leadership, it was one of those things that I wanted to improve. And the fact that I have I'm grateful to be on this stage, because it's showing that November Project Dallas is a player that's collaborative in the run community space, and not here to simply do our own thing, but to be part of that greater picture and be an active contributor. And so for us, what we desire as a community is for people to have a sense of belonging, a place of connection with each other, as well as with fitness. And that's what we do, week in, week out. We're a very innovative chapter for November Project, so we're the only chapter that meets in the evening during the week. Of all the November Project chapters across the world, we're the only ones who meet regularly in the evening on Tuesday nights. We don't just do it ourselves, we are actually collaborating with Run DFW to make that happen. And again, as a testament to the power of collaboration and working together for a common cause.
Nice. Yeah, I remember, I believe it was maybe 2 years ago, we went for a run and you talked about collaboration. And I believe at that time, there wasn't a ton of collaboration. I think people were kind of doing their own thing. But it's really cool to see how that has evolved. And you started collaborating with Run DFW and all these other organizations as well. So it's great to see as far as the partnerships that you've been doing and how you're pushing that. Because at the end of the day, we all want to get healthier, get stronger. So when we collab, it just kind of spreads the message a lot more. As far as your recent events that you've done, collaborations, what were some of those events? And like your favorite ones where you collaborated with others?
My favorite one would be Global Running Day. So Global Running Day this year was a levels higher experience than last year. So last year, we collaborated with other run groups at Keys Park, and it was fine. We got a lot of people together, it was good, but we noticed that there wasn't a lot of retention in hanging out after and continuing the socialization and connection. So when we finally settled with Run DFW on the place we were hanging out at after Tuesday nights, which is White Rock Brewing Company, we strengthened that relationship with the business so much that when it came time to start planning for Global Running Day 25, we said, hey, would you like to be our host venue for this? And they were like, heck yes. So when we worked with the other run groups that we were collaborating with, ZFT, Ohana Run Group, Soul Sisters Run, Run DFW, we said, let's do it at White Rock Brewing Company. We have a fantastic relationship with them. We're familiar with running that area, and it'll allow us a space for people to hang out after they finish their run activity. And we still drew over 100 people, and we did just that. We brought in ASICs and Fleet Feet for shoe demo. We had chiropractic, sports medicine. We had a local gym. We had QO Nutrition. It was an experience, more than just a run, and it was palpable. Some of my friends who were there, we were talking about this yesterday on the call. I was like, they saw a side of me that they never thought they didn't even know who I was. I was so hyped up and full of energy, because that's what it's about. I love bringing people together, and that's also what November Project Dallas is about. And so for us to do that with such, it encapsulates everything that I hope to leave as a legacy as a leader for November Project Dallas, that we can work together as a community to bring people together, to stay active, to connect with one another, and to build stronger relationships.
Yeah, no, that's great to see, and the fact that we're all doing a collaboration now. I think that's the message right there. It's like stronger together, and being able to, in a way, impact more lives as well, and just create a larger space for people to really be part of something that is bigger. So in this case, right, we're doing the Hispanic Heritage Weekend. So like being able to collab for that, I think that's very special, and we appreciate you for making that happen, all of you guys here. As I think about run clubs, one of the things is showing up every week. And for example, Fonz, I know for you is almost like every day with train Pegasus, then Tuesdays for Mas Millas, Wednesdays for Kairos, Tuesdays and Thursdays for November projects, Fridays as well for the hills. Like, what keeps you going? Like, what's that fuel of like, you know what, like I'm gonna be there, I'm gonna show up every single week?
I would say it's the community, it's the runners. They have goals. I want to help them achieve their goals, so that's what keeps me motivated. Another reason I always show up too is you never know who's going to show up. Someone might not be at that pace level when they come for the first time. I'm always willing to be at the very back. I'm always at the back, making sure that everybody gets back now. In the past, the group would just take off. So now I've taken the ownership of making sure that no one gets lost. So that keeps me motivated to go be out there Monday through Sunday. It's making sure that that new person that comes in doesn't feel like they're gonna get lost or gonna get left behind. And then just making sure it gives me an opportunity to work with different runners where I'm pacing them on workouts, just different days. I got 7 days, so I can run with somebody different, at different times.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, I get the Strava notifications of the events every day, or like whenever you guys like upload them, and I'm like, they're working. So it's great to know. And I mean, for someone that's just starting out, like which day would be the best? I mean, would it be any day for them to join to train Pegasus, or like what would be the ideal day for like community, just getting started at the club?
It would be Monday, Wednesday, or Friday, or Sunday. Those are more beginner days where you come out and you run 3 to 4 miles. Most recently we've had people that haven't even run a mile. I'll go out a mile and come back, and then I'll go find a group. Gives me, I call it going on the hunt, going searching for them. But I'd say if you're new and you're coming, it would be Monday, Wednesday, or Friday and Sunday. Those are the recovery days where I enjoy running 10:30 pace, 11-minute pace. That's my recovery time.
Nice. And then you have track days as well during the week. When is that?
That's Tuesdays. Tuesdays are track and hill repeats. So we run to the track, or depending on the race that you're training for, if it's hilly, then you'll end up doing some hill repeat cycles. And then Thursdays, I would say every other Thursdays, probably we do intervals or we do tempo runs. Again, we're a long distance run, so if you come on those days, you're gonna run at least 8 miles or more. We run anywhere from 8 to 12 miles and the other thing that'd be important too, we start at 5:15 a.m. So that's what I look on Reddit and I hear it's kind of funny to read all the comments about Train Pegasus. Be ready to wake up and start early, so we're an early group. On Saturday, some people start at 4:30, some people start at 5, and you get a big group. So it's funny to that's what we call it, clocking in on those days. A little hashtag that we have for that, but we got that from Reddit. But it's always entertaining to see the comments.
Nice, yeah, because one thing I noticed, you guys don't park at the track. You guys run to the track, and then you do the workout there.
Yeah, the warm-up is 2.5 miles before we start to work. So that's just the warm-up. And a lot of the first-timers, it's kind of hilly, even the cool down when you come back. So on the track, you're going to at least spend anywhere 4 miles. So yeah, I always tell people that, like, if you're new, you might want to drive to the track because you're going to run at least 2.5 miles before you get to the track. Yeah. And it feels like, and it's not going to be easy either.
Nice, yeah. I'll be joining some of those track days soon. I'll work my way up there, But no, that's awesome. Appreciate you. It sounds like you're showing up because of the runners and like who's going to be there, and you want to make sure you're there to greet them and also just be out there to support. And that's great to know. As far as Mas Millas, yes, Bree, what keeps you going?
These last couple of months, Tuesdays have become both of our favorite days. I would be lying if I said it's not a lot of work to run a run club while also training for races, marathons, working full time, trying to have social lives. But the thing that keeps me going is the people. We've had so many people come up to us or message us how much Mas Millas or just running in general has changed their life. I also want to say I'm so proud of JM for sharing his sobriety story. We have gotten so many people who have a similar journey or they're struggling, and I feel like there's certain topics, especially in the Hispanic community, that are often told to don't talk about or kind of hushed under. And so I think what really keeps me going is knowing that even if we don't hear from every single person, there are people who are being impacted. And so even when things get stressful and there's a lot going on in life, every single Tuesday is honestly the best day of my week. I had to miss one Tuesday and I had so much FOMO. I was texting JM the whole time like, what's going on, and send me a picture. And so definitely it's the impact that we're making is what keeps me going.
Yeah, I have to agree with both of them. The community, the people, that's what keeps me motivated to keep going. Just like kind of when you're training for a marathon, there's days you don't want to do that run, and they turn out to be some of the best. Sometimes you just show up for yourself that day because just like that, it turns out to be some of the best run club days. I love just getting to meet new people and hear everyone's story because everyone has a different background, and that's really what keeps me going.
Nice.
Yeah, I would say I have to agree. It's always going to be the people and the stories that they share. I think like the first month and a half, I had like a random DM from someone on the Kairos account, and they were like, "Hey, like I don't know who reads these, but I just want to say like I was battling with like suicidal urges, and like I saw y'all's videos, and it just made me like want to just give one more try." And he's like, and I kept showing up. He's like, I actually haven't showed up to Kairos, but I've been running on my own, and I'm training to like come with you guys. And he's like, and I'm training for a marathon now. And I was like, that's insane. Like I'm just making like silly TikToks about it, but this is actually touching someone's life. And literally every time I talk to someone new, I ask them like how it's impacted them. And it's always a different, like again, it's a different outlet. It's either like, you know, weight loss or job, like career or relationships. And so I'm like, yes, like we're having a good time, but the message is what stands out and what people are taking home. And I'm like, I'll show up every Wednesday. Like I haven't missed one. Actually, I left early one time and I hated it, but it's been awesome. And it's always people, making people's lives change is always the best reward that you could ever get.
Nice. Yeah, shout out to you guys for showing up for the people. You know, it's what keeps it going. So creating that space for each of the runners. What about you, Matt?
First, I can vouch for every detail that Fonz shared. The early mornings, all the miles. It's all true. It's all true. For November Project Dallas, it's the people, right? It's the people. And now we're entering in this era where we constantly try to find ways to activate our participants beyond just showing up. And now we're finding even more micro ways to do that. So for example, on Tuesday nights, Fonz was sharing a little bit about people getting lost. One of the ways that we overcome that challenge is we invite some of our longer term, so they've been there for a number of months or weeks, who are familiar with the routes, to stand at important junctures to help new people know where to go if they turn or if they go straight, and just keep eyes on our runners so that we all get back safely. Additionally, we have someone who helps with recruiting volunteers as well. So finding ways for our members, our participants, to be activated beyond just showing up is critical for us to have a continued and sustained success, and really allows them to give back and contribute to the community, so that it's not just on us as leaders, but we share the leadership, because it takes all of us, really.
Nice, yeah. I mean, it sounds like the common theme is the people, like showing up to make sure that it continues to keep going and keep growing. And I would say, I mean, as far as the final question for each one of you, would like to know more about the vision of where you see this going, and maybe like some final words for the people out here.
For me, the vision of it, you know, as I see younger runners come to the, you know, first of all, I'm probably one of the maybe one of four, probably what I consider the oldest in the group. I feel like everybody else is young, like by 10 or 15 years. I'm 45, and I feel like I see all these 21-year-olds, high 20s and low 30s coming in. I think they're the future. I think as long as the community stays there, I'm hoping that Trent Vegas has a little legacy. I mean, I'm always going to be coaching until I can't anymore. I enjoy it. I like helping people out. I'm probably, I might be on a bike out there next to them. I really don't know, but I would like to. I would like to see it, continue. But what's great is, for some reason, it dissolves. You got new future leaders out here. Opportunities for them to join different run clubs as well. So I'm always, when I get people asked all the time, like, hey, that's too early. I'm like, hey, there's other run clubs that you can join. You oversleep, you can go at 7:30. There's an 8:30 club. So we always, always deflect that way. I let them know. Just like the, all these vendors that come out, they want to come do stuff with us. I'm like, we start at 5:15, and they just like, we ain't doing that. So I always refer them to different clubs, and even for test wear, like our guys are not going to do test wear. They're running long. We're not running 2 miles. But I think they're the future when I see it, and it's great to see too. Latinos, because when I was running, I felt like I was probably like the only one over the years. I mean, I was just, if I saw a different color skin, I was like happy to see a different, a different skin tone. It's been amazing to see, the coach, the line coach are just coming to running, getting healthy, getting mental. I mean, I've just been so impressed with it. And it's something that I've been wanting to see for a long time, and now it's here, and here we are.
Yeah, no, thank you so much for doing what you're doing and leading the way for a lot of people. So know that you're appreciated. Thank you for doing it. What about you, Bree?
So Mas Mias is currently a nonprofit, and to be honest, when we started, we did not know what direction we wanted to take. But as our run club and the community grew, we were kind of just looking at like, what more can we do besides just running? Obviously, people run to kind of escape issues or things going on, but I feel like we kind of have the responsibility, all of us, to get involved and to do things in the summertime when there were lots of ice raids going on. We got together, and within a week, we planned a fundraiser. We fundraised $3,700, just me and JM having no clue what we were doing, and we donated to local organizations to help DACA and help immigrants. And after that, we kind of realized that we have the ability to make such of an impact beyond running. It's impossible to focus on running when there's so many other things going on in personal lives or in your families, in your communities. And so we really just hope that we are not only inspiring people to be active and run, but also to give back. We've done, I think, like 10 coffee shop pop-up runs, mostly at Hispanic or Black-owned coffee shops. We have local vendors come out every single week, and so we really just want to give back and just help build the community together. And so I guess for me, I see us just continuing to do what we do and just supporting the people who are often overlooked and just building Mas Mias out.
Nice, yeah, thank you so much for everything that you guys are doing for the community, and the fact that you were able to use this platform to do the fundraiser. I think that's huge, right? Like, these are difficult times for our community, and the way that you were able to step up, like, just know that's super appreciated, and yeah, that's inspirational right there.
Yeah, pretty much the same thing. We have the same vision for our run club. As far as that as well, just we have the numbers. If you have a voice, use it for people that can't speak up. Running affects us. Everything else around us affects running, as far as clean air and everything. So just be a voice for somebody. And my vision is what Bree said, and just keep helping others and inspiring other people to that are having issues with whatever it is, addiction, mentally depression. It's a space that I would like for people to feel safe and, know that it's available for them.
Nice, thank you.
Yeah, I would say for Kairos, the short answer is I don't know, because that's on brand with how Kairos is. Like, you're kind of like, I don't know, and like you have to be okay with that. But the long answer that I've thought about is I really would love to see Kairos become like a brand that helps with personal growth, that offers some type of service to people, whether it's like entrepreneurs or young professionals, the ability to offer like mentorship or coaching, where we can help people like with the deeper issues, because it's always a deeper issue. It's like, yeah, like you're in that job, but because of this that you're afraid to face. And yeah, I think that's like a big passion of mine, and the reason why I'm so glad it started with running is because running is a forward motion, like action. So you can't run and like not move forward. And so the way I think of it is like, if you can envision like a GPS and like you're headed in one specific route, if you're not even moving forward, there's no amount of direction that GPS can give you to take you to where you need to go. Like, you need to actually just be moving forward, and there's always a reroute. There's always a different way you can take. And so that's kind of like the reason why I'm glad it starts with running, and the platform is based on running, because running itself represents you propelling forward. No matter in which direction you end up, you are moving forward. And so that's what I want to be able to push with Kairos, is how can we get people to continue to push forward in their life, in the areas of their life that they're stagnant, that they're afraid, that they've been stuck in for years. I want people to live up to 80 and 90 and be like, I lived everything I wanted to with no regrets. That would be like, that's my goal for Kairos.
Let's go. Yeah, that's amazing, man. It's a great message.
For November Project Dallas, it's a lot of just building on the momentum that's carrying us right now, right? That a lot of what's been done in the last, you could even say year, has been a huge turnaround for our community and the impact that we make. And so 4 things come to mind, and that's just continuing to be creative with how we make fitness fun and connecting people together. Continue to activate our participants and find ways for them to give back to the community, especially within, not just ours, but also in the greater Dallas area. To continue collaborating, to find those ways to build bridges, to find ways that we're able to stay active as a run community in the greater community. And 4th is building leadership too, right? Not just about activating members, but finding those who can carry the baton forward, right? I'm not going to be here forever, and it's not about me anyway. So how can I cultivate leadership in others so that we can continue to carry this forward? I mean, it's such a success story that we've not only been around for 8 years, we continue to exist beyond COVID, right? That we're still here. And I want us to be here for another 8 years, for another 8 years, for another 8 years. Because it's not about one person, it's about all of us. And that can carry forward, because the community continues. And it evolves and transforms. It's adapt or die out there, but we transform together.
Nice, yeah. I mean, based on what I'm hearing, it sounds like being able to leave a better place for the younger generation, and like walking with your peers, working together, and also in a way like paying tribute to the ones that came before us by doing the things that we're able to do thanks to them, to their sacrifices. And it's just really cool to see that, to be walking alongside and being able to push towards that, where we're leaving a healthier and stronger community together. And having said that, we appreciate each one of you for being here, for all the contributions that you make here for the community in Dallas, Fort Worth. And thank you for everybody out here as well for being able to come out here and support and hear the stories. But yeah, I mean, appreciate that. And yeah, we're gonna be transitioning to the film. And yeah, we are super excited to be showing the film afterwards and also doing the 5K tomorrow. Who's gonna be pulling up to the run tomorrow? Let's go. Okay. Yeah, we have a good route, and it starts at 8 a.m. Be there a little bit earlier. But yeah, let's give these guys a round of applause for coming out here.